a person has a word in his mind, he shuffles it and asks the other person to guess what that word could be. This is the game. Sounds interesting? As and always, this being a Joy of Computing course, let us play this the fun way using our programming skills. Let's get started. Before starting off with the programming, let me just give you a summary of what the game is all about. This is nothing but there are two players in the game. Player 1 and player 2 say. Initially, we'll start off with player 1's turn. So, player 2 will have some word in his or her mind. What the person does is, he would rearrange the letters of the words. Basically, he would shuffle the word and write those letters in some random order, in some shuffled order. Not the original word exactly, he would write the shuffled word and present it to person 1 whose turn is it now. So this person is presented with a shuffled word. He is supposed to guess what the actual word could be. If he is able to guess, he would get a point. And this person would pose a question to the other person and the game goes like this. Whoever gets the maximum number of points is a winner, or it may even be a draw if both get equal number of points. This is how the game will go. So with this kind of strategy, let's play this game using our Python programming skills. So let's start with it. So we have to play the game. So play, you have got. We have to play the game. So for this, there is a warning that could be seen here. It says undefined name play. So we have said we want to play the game. What the thing has to be done, we have to define it. So let's start defining. Define play. This is the way by which you would start a function definition. So that is, play is something that you want to perform. This is not something that is already known to the computer. So you have to define that this is what is a thing you have to do when I say play. So you are giving a definition. So that's why you have to use DEF and then the name, whatever you wish to give. So I have to start my play. So as you would see, the second line appears indented. Indentation matters here. So as long as you maintain this level of indentation, all this would be considered as a tasks to be done if thing play is called. So let's start off with what all we need to do. So we will have two players. Maybe player 1, he will have some name. Let me say player 1 name. Player 1 name. Let us input the name. Input. For him to input, we should ask with a suitable message. So let me start with a message. Player 1, please enter your name. So this is for player 1. The same we have to repeat it with player 2. Player 2 name. You have to input his name. Input player 2, please enter your name. So alright, we have collected the names of the players. So initially both the players will start with 0 points. So let us assign it. Points to player 1 is 0. Points to player 2 is 0 again. And I said that the turns will be alternated. So one player would pose a question, the other will have to answer, and the next time it is reversed. So there are some turns. Here, instead of the players giving the question, we would have the computer pose a question to both the players. So the thing is like a computer is a third party which would give questions of same difficulty to both the players, so there would be no biases associated with it. That is the idea. So we will make the computer pose the questions and both players will get their turns alternately, just like how it happened in the previous scenarios. The turns would be alternated and the question will be posed by the computer and answer has to be given by the players. So to keep track of whose turn it is, let us have some variable called turn. Turn, initially let it be 0. It can be any number. It's generally a practice in computer science to start counting from 0. So that is why we have given 0. Alright. So this game will go on indefinitely until the player, one of them wants to stop. That is, this is a 2-player game, so definitely we need 2 players. Only then the competitive spirit would be there. As long as both are willing to play, the game would continue. In case if one of them wants to stop, then the game would come to an end. So we need to continue it indefinitely. That is being taken care by this thing. While loop and condition. Condition I have given as 1. That means true. So while true, this would always be true, and we would end this only when the player wants to stop. That we will see later. We will be dealing with that too. Now, what should the person do? He has to get the question from the computer. So this is basically the computer's part. Computer's task is what is to be done here. What is it doing? It has to pick the word. There will be some picked word. The computer will pick some word. So it will have some dictionary. From that dictionary, it will pick some words. So choose. That will be a function we will define later. So computer is choosing some word and it is returned as picked word. So that one word is picked from its dictionary or from its list. You can consider as. It has some list of words. From that list, it is picking some word. So then it has to create the question. This is the task is to create the question. Create the question. So question is created by jumbling the picked word. Jumbling is nothing but you are just rearranging the letters of the word. You are jumbling the picked word. So done. So now once the question is ready, you can print the question. So far so good. Now let us come to the player's part. First is we'll start off with player 1 as the first player, then player 2. We will alternate it. To keep alternating the turns, we should keep track of the value of turn. So turn is set to 0. So let it be the case that at turn 0, player 1 will be playing. At turn 1, player 2 will be playing. At turn 2, again player 1 will play. At turn 3, player 2 will play. It goes on this way. As you would see, at the even values of turn, it is the chance of player 1. At the odd values, it is the chance of player 2. So to keep track of even and odd, we will use the modulo operator, that is nothing but the operator which would divide and return the remainder of division. So to get to know if it is even or odd, we can divide the turn value by 2 and see the remainder. For all even numbers, the remainder when divided by 2 is 0, and for odd numbers, the remainder is 1. So that fact we will be making use of it here, and we will code. So as I said, we are going to use the modulo operator. If turn modulo 2 modulo 2 is equals to 0. Single equal to is assignment and double equal to is the condition check of equality. So this basically what it does is it will check this expression turn mod 2, that is it will take the value of turn, divide it by 2 and check the remainder. If that remainder is equal to 0, then this segment has to be executed. So you have to say that this is this person's turn. So let me print a message saying player 1 name. We know the name, we have got the name of the player. Player 1 name. This is your turn. Alright. So I have printed this message. So I have to get I have displayed the question. If you would have seen here, there is a statement print question. So the computer has printed the question, so that has displayed the question. So I have to ask what's on my mind. So that is, the computer is asking what's on my mind. So it has picked some word. What is the actual word? So it is asking what's on my mind. So you have to get the input for that. So for this question, the player would give an answer that has to be taken as an input. So we'll do this now. Answer is equal to input of what is on my mind. So computer has got some word in its mind. So that word the player has to guess. So that is the question. Makes sense? Okay. So this is a question posted by the computer, and for this question the user will give an answer which would be inputted and stored in this variable answer. So now if the answer given by the user is exactly equal to the picked word, if this answer is exactly equal to the picked word, then you are supposed to increase his points by 1. So he gets 1 point. So there will be some points already the player 1 has scored during the run of this game. So initially it is 0, but when the loop goes on, as and when the loop goes on, the points may change for the players. Maybe one player would have guessed a lot of words, but another one would not have been able to do so. There is a chance that a difference between the scores exists. So we will retrieve the previous score, add 1 to it and make it the new score. So player 1's point is nothing but his previous point plus 1. This is his new score, and you have to update him of his new score. Print your score is I can say it is stored in this variable P1, points of player 1. So this has been stored, and we have fetched the new value and we have displayed in this score after this answer. If this answer is right, then the score will be incremented. Otherwise, you should say that his answer is wrong. Else, print some suitable message and say the correct answer. Maybe I would say better luck next time. I thought the word that is stored in the variable picked word. So I thought this particular word. Like this, you're displaying a message to the user. irrespective of what happens here, the next has to be, you have to ask if he wants to continue the game or not. So that is, for that let us use another variable. Let us call it C for continue, probably C. You take the input from the user if he wants to continue or not. So maybe continue, quit, there is two possibilities. So let me post a message, press 1 to continue and 0 to quit. So he has to decide if he wants to continue or quit. So this is the message post, and for this the user will give an input which will be captured by this variable C. And we have defined 0 is for quit. We have said to the user that 0 is for quit. So in case if he says 0, that is I want to quit, then if the input C is 0, that is he wants to quit, then you have to thank the user. Probably you can say you have to thank both of them actually, because till some point of time they would have played. So you have to thank both of them. Player 1 name, player 2 name. You have to thank both of them, and you have to display the points they have scored till now. Like before this particular word has occurred, player 2 would have scored some points, as well as player 1 would have got something. You have to display the summary as well. So you need the 2 points value as well. So you have to thank them by greeting with their names and showing them the summary of the game till now. So you have to thank them, and once everything is done, you end the loop, you quit the game. So how do you do that? You use the break statement. So once when this break statement is encountered, this break statement, once when it is encountered, the corresponding while loop would come to an end. So that is, the game would come to an end. So this is the game. Okay. So if this is for player 1, this particular thing, whatever we have done till now, is for player 1. So the next, what should I do, is for player 2. The procedure is just the same as whatever we have for player 1. The changes, what we have to do is, instead of player 1 name, player 1 points, we would be using the player 2 information there. That's it. That is it. So let me copy paste the same thing. Copied. So let me paste it. I have pasted it, but the indentation I have to take care of it. This has to be done in case if the turn value is odd. So for odd turn value, it is player 2's turns. So I'll have to do this. The indentation, please take care of the indentation. It is in the same column, column 9, and this is in column 9. Yeah, this is in the same column, and this thing has to be indented. Now everything looks perfect. Alright. So we have indented this, and as I said, it is not player 1 but it is player 2. So let me make the changes. It is player 2. Player 2. It is player 2, and the thanking message is just the same. Whenever if anyone wants to quit, the game comes to an end. So you have to thank both of them for their participation till now, as well as show them the summary. So the thanking part is the same, just that the updating of points differs from player 1 and player 2, because each of them have their own scores. So you need to have 2 different variables to keep track of both their scores. Alright, let me save till here. Okay, let me revise once again as to what I have done. This is we start off with the playing of the game here. We will ask for the names of both the players, player 1 and player 2. Initialize their points with 0, and to keep track of alternating the turns, we use a variable called turn. The computer would create a question here instead of the usual way where two people will create a question alternatively. Now this is just for fairness sake, because it may be the case that when humans are playing, one person has very good vocabulary and he is picking some very difficult words which is not very easy for an average person to guess. He is permuting, that is, he is shuffling the word in a difficult way. That may be the case. Another person may choose simple words, then it would create a biased state, as you could sense till now. So to ensure fairness, we'll give the task of creating the question to the computer. So computer is doing this, and just guessing what the jumbled word is the task of the players. So computer's task here, this has to be repeated continuously until the players want to quit the game. So we are using this particular loop while one. The computer is choosing a word from its list of words. Randomly it will choose some word and it will jumble that picked word and create a question. So it is now, after creating the question, it is displaying the question. So you have to alternate the turns. So for that I am using a modulo operator which would return the remainder after division. So for odd numbers it is player 2's turn, even numbers is player 1's turn. For odd numbers, the remainder would be 1 when divided by 2, and for even numbers it is 0 when divided by 2. That is what is taken care of here. If turn mod 2 equal to 0, that is, if it is an even turn, then it should be the turn of player 1, because we are starting the turn with 0. That is the usual practice in computer science, to count from 0. So that is why we are doing it. It's not an issue in case if you start from 1 as well. You can in fact start from any value of turn. The thing is, it will alternate the turns between player 1 and player 2 as long as you use this mod 2 as your condition. So it will say, this is this player's turn. This is the question has been displayed already. What is that? The word I have on my mind. That is a question posed to the player. The player has to guess his word. So whatever is his guess, he'll type the guessed word. So if that is the correct guess, that is whatever he has answered is the exact word the computer has picked, then his points will be increased by 1. Otherwise, there is no increase in points. He will be intimated of the word the computer has thought. And then the computer would ask them if you would like to continue the game or quit the game. If they would like to quit, you have to greet them, you have to thank them for their participation till now and show them the summary of both their scores, and you quit the game. You're thanking them, you're showing the summary, and then you're quitting the game. The same goes for player 2 as well, just that the updating of points is different. See here, it is the points of player 1 is updated and points of player 2 is updated in case if it is the turn of player 2. So in the turn of the corresponding player, his points would be updated in case his answer is correct. That is how the game goes. Did you sense any missing gap here? There is a missing gap here. Also, there are some missing definitions which we need to do. We would do it in the next videos. In the next video, we would see the missing gaps and we'll define the undefined terms till now. Maybe choose, jumble, all these are intuitive to us, but the computer may not know what has to be done. So that we need to define them. And thank, it is intuitive to us, we need to define these things. That all we'll do it in the next video. Thanks for watching.